everybody, my name is Sherry. Welcome to my stamp studio. I'm going to show you a couple of different cards that I have that have posted recently or in the last couple of weeks at least. And then we are going to look at a card that you can make if you're doing my free online class. It isn't actually a project in the class, but you would be able to recreate it at home. So these are some glittery cards. I decided to show you a stack of glitter cards. The sad thing about showing you these is they're so much prettier in person than they are on camera. The camera just doesn't do them justice. But we have lots and lots of glitter, which, you know, the holidays are coming up and everybody likes a little bit of glitter at Christmas. And the great thing about our glitter paper is none of it comes off. It stays on there. So fun cards for those. And then this is the first project for my October card club. So you can go on my website and read all about my subscription service for card club. You can add on, if you're in club, the bundles or the stamps for this or for our bonus bundle this month, and I pay your shipping, handling, and tax. So that's one of the perks of being in my club. And then I have this one here, which is made with, it's not, again, not a card club project, but you would be able to recreate it if you buy the bonus set, because like the year is the bonus set for this month. So there's that one. And then this one here uses the bonus set like the year, and it uses today's paper. So today I'm working with Sentimental Christmas, and so that kind of combines club and my free class. So let's take a look at a couple of other projects made with the Sentimental Christmas. I love this paper. It was the paper that I especially loved when I opened the catalog, because it's right at the beginning, because it is part of our I can't even think of the word now, of the charity program that for this catalog. So if every pack of paper that you purchase of Sentimental Christmas, they donate $3 to children's literacy. And you can go on our website to read the details according to what country you're in of the charity that gets it. So here's just a couple of other, this is a little tag made with the paper and the stamps. Here's one with the flip side of the paper. It's actually the flip side of the paper that I'm using on today's card. This is a similar one to the one I made. My girlfriend made this one. And then this one here is the first one that I made when I very first got the catalog. So this one uses the entire suite. It has the embellishments, the ribbon, the papers, and the stamps. So it's really, really pretty paper. Can't say how pretty it is because it's just gorgeous. And then my girlfriend made this one. It is with the bow die that's in the catalog. And then one final little project is this little book. Now in the free online class that I'm having, we will be doing something with the little book. It's probably not going to just be a container. It's probably going to be some kind of home decor, but I haven't got that far yet. It's just in my head. Sometimes I have great ideas in my head and they don't translate so well to reality. So we'll see. I'm hoping to make it work. So to do my free online class, you purchase this suite from me, and the fabulous thing about this suite, stamps, embellishments, ribbon, and paper, $68. So it's a heck of a deal. And then I think we're doing 3 cards. I should have read my own website before I did the video together. So the way that works is you order the suite from me. You go on my website and you register for the class, and then I will send you whatever we need. So like if we were doing this card, which again, we're not, I would send you all of these pieces. Or like if we do something with the book, you'll get that. Then anything that's in here, stamps, dies, embellishments, ribbon, and then this paper, you will use your own. But like this would be the paper you'd get for this one. And then you get the tutorial videos for it. So that's the suite. Let me just show you the paper real quick. In case you haven't seen it, I'm not going to show it all to you, but just so you can see how incredibly pretty it is. Here's this piece. The candles on the back. I have a lot of the same pieces in here because this is left from my try it class. Then we have this piece here. I'm using this one today. I used this one if you did my try it class, and this is where we got the tree from. And then my favorite one is the deer. So you can go on my website and look at all of the pieces of paper. So for this card, I wanted to kind of do obviously the paper looks vintage, right? It has a vintage feel. So I wanted to kind of keep with that vintage theme. And I wanted to do a card on card. And I wanted to add some bits of bling and glitter and shimmer. You know, lots of vintage cards have that really thick glitter on it. Once upon a time, we used to sell the thick glitter. We don't so much anymore. So what I did was I just kind of cut around. There's a little bit of cutting in this project because I don't know why they didn't put a deer. The set really needed a deer stamp. And I wanted to use the deers, so you got to cut some extra ones out. But the first thing you want to do is get one of the full circles. And there's several full circles on this paper. So cut this out. If you've done my Try It class, then you'll be a little bit familiar with it. Except normally I do this part for you. So I'm going to take this. And I am going to take my deckled circle die, which is about the same size as most of the circles on the paper. The one that I used the first time was a little bit smaller, but you don't notice. And then this piece of paper I just did, so whichever size circle you're using, do it so it's twice. That way when you fold this over, and this is basic beige, you're going to put this on here, and we're going to make a circle card to go on top of our card. So I'm going to put this on my cut and emboss machine. I'm going to lay this on here like this, and you just want to make sure that the top of the circle goes off the top a little bit so it doesn't cut through your fold. So let me run these through, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. And in the class, if we do anything that takes a die that's not part of the set, then that would come already die, or if I use a folder on a project or something. So I ran this through back and forth and then back and forth because it was cutting through all these layers of paper. And then just pop this out. So now we have a card that can go on top of our card. So you can see here's the card. This will open and have our sentiment in there. And then this fits right back on the top of this. So I've got some paper here. I have basic beige. Then I have espresso because I wanted to kind of make those deer pop a little bit more. And then the piece of the candy cane paper. Then I'm going to take my shimmer. And this is going to give us a little bit of the vintage effect. So I did a video, I don't know, it's been a couple of months ago now, where I show you how to make this. And I filled it about halfway, and I've used it. My friends have used it when we've done swaps. I've used it at camp. I've used it. I have lots of videos, and lots of other people have used it. But I just wanted to show you in this particular video that it still has a bit left in it. But we're getting down. But it's lasted a long time, and I've shimmered lots of things. So it is Wink of Stella and glycerin. You can go, I have the video on how to do it on my channel. I'm going to take this. And it just kind of helps give a little bit of the vintage look. So there's a little bit on here. Again, it's so much prettier in person than it is on the camera. And then I don't want all of this to have some, but just some. So I'm just going to add some around the edges. Sometimes I think if you have some and not some, and when it dries, it doesn't look wet. It just looks shimmery. I'll show you that later. But then it kind of accents the fact that you have shimmer on it. So just get it on the edges. I'm going to set that aside to dry for a second. And then let's stamp the inside of this before I mount it all together and then forget to stamp it. So I pulled 2 of the stamps out of the set. One is the sentiment that I'm going to use. Pop this on here. Wishing you joy and happiness. And then there is a bow. Add that just there. You could put it up there if you wanted to. And that's all the stamping on this card. Like I said, I really wish there was a deer one. And I'm going to take, this is my red blend. I'm just going to use the bullet tip and just color in my bow. And then you can, if you put the bow up there, you could move the sentiment up and have more room to sign. But that's how I did my first one, so we'll just go with that. Then I'm going to take this piece of paper. And what you want to do is find the deer that aren't, or pieces that are not part of a full circle. I'm going to try to keep my full circles together. So you can see I had to cut into this one. So I'm going to use the stuff out of this. I can go all the way over here. Let's just go from here. But I want to keep this circle full. This is any circle that can stay full. And I'm going to show you a trick in just a second. Let me get this one out and then I'll show you. So just be careful when you go around them. I cut so many of these things like this for my try it classes for y'all to get the pieces that I feel like I'm a little bit of an expert at cutting. So you see right here, this circle is here. So if you cut this, this will no longer be a circle, right? But then look at all these pieces that are on the side. You can cut these out, and when you put them on here, just put them on at the same time that you're cutting your die, and you can rework your circle. Because now we're going to add some 3D pieces. So I'm not going to, I'll cut them now out, not on, well, I'll cut them out and then I'll fast forward that part of the video so you don't have to watch it. All right, so I've cut these out. I may need to cut a few more. You can see I have a bunch still I can work from because these are all still in that little piece that I did before. But because this is a different base circle, the other one that I used just had one of the deer on it, so I'm not quite sure exactly what we'll need, but I'm going to use Seal Plus on this card because I'm going to do a little bit of embossing, and this will just hold it on. Not really embossing, just kind of some, I don't even know what you call it, some highlights with embossing powder. This does not have to match back up perfectly because, as you saw, the back has the fun brown, so anything that would show through will be pretty. Then I'm going to take this one here. Here's the ribbon that comes in the suite. It's a really pretty ribbon. It is the satin and sheer ribbon in shaded spruce. So for it, I'm going to add my Seal Plus. You could use glue, but you'd want it to be dry before we heat it in a minute. So the Seal Plus will hold it. I hope you can see how shimmery and pretty that is. I think it helps really make it look vintage. So I'm just going to add that on there and then stick this here. Oh, it's not straight, which is not great when you've used Seal Plus. Did I press too hard? I did not. I always try to lay everything lightly, but it looked, I'm going to move it down so I can see it a little bit better. The angle when I film isn't the angle that I do when I'm just working on my own, because I want you to see the card, not the top of my head. Add some here. So this is our card base. Make sure you get it straight. And I'm going to do a faux bow. So I'm going to take this, cut a shorter piece. And because I didn't put any adhesive on the front, I can just slide this under and then tie a knot, and then, or not even a knot, just tie it on here and then tie the bow. So you want it to go the direction that you want it to go. So I'm going to change it this way because I want my bow to go this direction. If you don't want to do a bow, you could easily let it be like this. That would be pretty as well. I like the bow on this card, so I am going to do a bow. And even when it looks like you've cut a bunch of ribbon, maybe I'm not going to do a bow. Sometimes it takes more ribbon than you think. Okay, that worked. I just don't have any left to trim. And then I'm going to take this, and again, over here, I'm going to use my Seal Plus because I want it to stay over the top of that ribbon, in addition to in a second when I heat it. Pop this on here, and then we'll come back to those in a second. I'm going to take this again, put some on this here, and then I'm going to put some just in these little corners because I want it to be wet and to hold the gold that I'm getting ready to put on it. So just in a couple of areas. And then I'm going to grab my gold embossing powder, and I'm just ever so slightly going to get some on here. And you might not even hardly see it when I'm doing, well, you did that one because too much. But some of it blows off because all that's holding it on is that little bit of glycerin. I don't want to get it on my deer faces. So over here, I'm going to try to be a little bit more careful. Okay, so when you do it, you want to get your heat tool nice and hot before you aim it at it, because the hotter it is, then the quicker it will melt, and the less likely that some of it's going to blow off. Some of it's going to blow off no matter what you do. So do it from underneath. This is why I use the Seal Plus, and I will have to go back and either add glue or just regular seal when I'm done. So once you have it hot there, then you can bring it up here. And I didn't want a lot, I just want a little bit of highlights of gold. Right here is a little bit more than I intended to have. And then I'm going to take it to my ribbon, and I want it to shrivel my ribbon just a little bit, just the bow part, not the back. This works best once your tool's hot. So it works best if you do it last. And I think, again, it kind of helps give it that old vintage feel. So there's that. Now we can decide where to stick on all of these. And any place where these may have lifted up, did pretty well. The Seal Plus holds pretty good. But you could go back and reseal those. So now you just have to add these guys. And I'm going to switch now to just regular seal. Actually, if I was doing this and not on camera, I would use glue, because like their little feet, it's easier to get with. Sorry, I'm looking at where I'm going to put these as well as do this one over here. It doesn't have very much of the edge because this circle is bigger than the other circle, so I'm just going to add that there. And then let's do. You don't have to keep these all in one piece, so I'm going to break this one apart because she still has a little berry underneath her. I don't even know where I want to put her. Actually, I'm going to take a little bit more of this off. So I'd kind of like her to go down there in the corner, but she's too long. So if you like to make cards like this, just grab your paper and like put it by the TV. And when you're watching a movie or talking on the phone, then you can cut all these pieces out. And I would just put them all in a baggie or in the stamp case. And then that way, when you go to do your card, you can just pick the ones that work best. On there, we have another little tree. And on my other card, I have a few trees. I have a couple of things that are popped up with dimensionals. This one, because this is a bigger pattern, it just doesn't really need it. But we can get this one little tree on here. And they're so tiny. I thought I cut that dimensional pretty tiny, but well, it helps if you put it on straight, right? There we go. It here. Is this scrap or is it something? It's another little bird. Add it so it goes over the top of my card, but not a lot, because if you do it too far over the top when they open it, they're going to smash its head. We'll put her there. And one more little piece. Stick it under the bow. And then I'm going to take, I shimmered it, but you know the vintage cards, often that sparkle, and that was my favorite part of vintage cards. So I'm just going to add a little bit of Wink of Stella. So I've done my shimmer solution, but straight Wink of Stella is more sparkly. because the other one's been watered down. It makes it go a lot farther, and it makes you be able to do full sheets of paper like I just did. That adds just a little bit more sparkle. And then the embellishments that come in the suite are the Druzy. I can't remember. And I've taken the thing out. Druzy something. Druzy gems. And I like to use lots of embellishments. So I'm going to use 5. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. So I have 4 gold ones. Again, I think they're very vintage. And then 1 silver. Now on my other one, I have 1 single tree. This one doesn't have a single tree, so this tiny tree is going to get a giant star on top. Yeah. Isn't it fun? So if you're interested in doing the class, just head to my website, or if you're on my email list. So here's that one. This one, because I have a little bit longer threads on here, you can kind of see a little bit more that it is shriveled. If you have any questions, just ask below the video, or if you're watching on Facebook, wherever you're watching it. But you have, I don't remember the date. We went on vacation, and then I've had a heck of an awful week so far. So I keep forgetting to go look at my own information before I film. I'm just trying to get through the week. Hopefully it will end soon, because I'm ready to be done. So if you have any questions, let me know. But if you're on my email list, the email that comes with this video will have all the information you need. Have a great one. Bye.